Hello there everyone, welcome back to Shonen Soup. I'm your host Botox Media, and today we are talking about the two new series starting in Weekly Shonen Jumps, starting with issue 27 with Aliens Area, and issue 28 with Ruri Dragon. So most of this video is probably going to be focused on Ruri Dragon because I'm more familiar with that author, specifically because there was a one-shot for Ruri Dragon, and I want to talk about that because I just read that finally. That was in the, I believe, December issue of Giga Jump, something like that last year, and then of course Aliens Area. So I did a video talking about Ayashimon ending. That was obviously very sad, seeing Yuji Kaku's series kind of come to an end up, especially, you know, no spoilers, but apparently it's like not wrapped up at all, which is really sad. However, I really want to talk about these new series because I think there's a lot of potential here for both of these. I think these both could be really cool. So we'll start talking about Aliens Area, and I will be reading some tweets from, of course, what's the actual Twitter at here? At WSJ_manga. This is an unofficial Weekly Shonen Jump kind of news account that I really like to follow. If you don't follow them, I highly recommend it. So they've done the due diligence. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of a history for both these new series. So starting with Aliens Era, we have Naba Fusai, who started his journey in Jump with a Peko Roller, one of the finalists of Jump's Treasure Newcomer Manga Award back in November of 2012. So that's a ways back, you know, 10 years ago, this guy got started. This would later lead them to debut in Jump Next 2013 spring with Harake Niorai-kun, and also publish Urushi in issue 2 of 2014. And then you have some cool pictures there. So following that, Kung Fu Master would be seen in Jump in issue 49 from 2015, and Fusai's first short series would start in Jump Giga 2017 at Tao Tao. 1 year later, Apollo would be Fusai's entry for the 2018 Golden Future Cup, which would lose to what at the time was Phantom Seer's prototype. So I've actually, you know, full disclosure, I haven't caught up on a lot of like the shorter series that happened in like the 2010s basically. I heard a lot of great things about Phantom Seer. That was like the initial kind of, you know, straw that broke the camel's back, I think, for a lot of people in terms of Jump canceling series. Because obviously for me last year it was Red Hood. That was the one that really, you know, kind of peeved me off. And now Ayashimon and probably Doron. And of course, Phantom Seer was the start of it, really, for a lot of people, I think. But moving on, Naba Fusai would return in 2020 with Harakiri Gomen, a short digital series published in the magazine and his last work in Jump. Still unconfirmed, it's believed they're working under the Naba pen name and the Vermilion Mask, a 2-volume short series at Young King Hours. Aliens Area is both written and drawn by Fusai, and it's a work described as a thrilling cosmic battle, action, and fantasy series full of aliens. Best of luck to them, and let's move on to, of course, Masaoki Shindu, the author of Ruri Dragon. So let's talk about Aliens Area for a little bit here. This is really interesting to me. So when I look at the current state of Jump, you look at everything in there, there's not much fantasy stuff. There really isn't. I mean, obviously, yes, you have of course, One Piece, you have Black Clover, which is, you know, Magic World, even something like, I guess, Mashal, once again, Magic World, even something like a Jujutsu Kaisen, you know, you're in Tokyo, but then you have curses and stuff. Elusive Samurai is like, you know, samurai, period, right? So you have fantasy elements, but most of the series in Jump are just purely set on Earth, which isn't necessarily a negative thing. However, I definitely want to see some more variety, because really, when you boil it down, you know, my heroes in Tokyo or in Japan, more specifically, One Piece and Black Clover, and then Mashal, once again, are pretty much all we have. So I really hope Aliens Area, the vibe I'm getting is that it's going to be either purely set in space or at least majorly focused in space. I hope it's just purely set in space, and I hope Earth's not even a thing, to be honest with you. I want a fresh, you know, thick world to get into. Not a Jump series by Eden Zero, of course, Hiromashima's series after Fairy Tail. I read a little bit of that. I know people kind of donk on Fairy Tail. I was liking it for what it was. I think he was doing some cool stuff with the world building. Granted, I only read like 3 volumes, but if we see something like that in Jump, I think that could be very promising with the right world building and characters and just kind of development of the setting. So, Aliens Area, that is starting on Sunday, so I'm posting this, I think, on Friday. So in 2 days, you'll be able to read that in the Shonen Jump app, which is where I read all my manga. So that is exciting. I might do a video depending on that first chapter. If I like it, if I don't like it, maybe we'll see. If you want to see a video on Aliens Area, let me know. I definitely still wanted to get to Super Smartphone, by the way. That started a few weeks back. But with that said, let's talk about Ruri Dragon. So Masaoki Shindu was a name I was pretty unfamiliar with. However, according to this Twitter account, Shonen Jump News Unofficial, of course, the GOAT of manga Twitter, this is a pretty long-awaited thing. People have been waiting for Masaoki Shindu to get a series in Shonen Jump. So let's read through their kind of transcripts here. Probably one of the most awaited names ever, Masaoki Shindu won Jump's Treasure Newcomer Manga Award in July 2016 with Twin Peach, which would also get later published at Jump X. Skyclaw would be their second work published simultaneously in that same issue of Jump X. So I've not read these, however, I have to say Skyclaw, I like the art in that a lot. Really promising stuff there, and Twin Peach too is good also. So I might want to go back and read those before Ruri Dragon finally starts its serialization next week. Shindu would also take part in Win 2017's Golden Future Cup with Joreishe Rentaro no Yakusoku, published in issue 41, 2017. This work would grant him a serialization in Weekly Shonen Jump, a prize that has been claimed now 5 years later. So that's really interesting to me. I always, I'm a big Bakuman fan, so seeing that they won the Golden Future Cup back in 2017 or just now finally getting that series is really interesting to me, because that's the prize, right, for winning the Golden Future Cup. You pretty much get promised a serialization depending on circumstances, obviously. Shindu decided to keep on publishing one-shots, however, starting with Count Over in issue 25 from 2018, and finally the work that is now becoming a series, Ruri Dragon. The super popular work from Junk Giga 2021 Winter has gathered more than 1 million views with its voice comic. So yeah, if you go on YouTube, there is a actually voice version of this manga one-shot. Ruri Dragon is a story drawn and written by Masaoki Shindu revolving around a high school girl that suddenly grows horns and discovers her father is a dragon. Okay, so let's talk about Ruri Dragon. So I read this one-shot this morning, actually, and I have to say, I'm reserved, as always, with any new series. However, A, I really like the art, and B, I just like the tone. I like how, it kind of reminds me of Chainsaw Man in that all the characters are just kind of like taking everything at face value. These are crazy circumstances that are happening. She's a high school girl who just starts growing horns, and that's ridiculous. However, her mom's just like, oh yeah, you're finally getting your horns, huh? Obviously, she has like no knowledge of her father. She goes and meets her father, who was actually just a straight up dragon, and she jokes like, how did you guys make me? How'd you guys meet? What's going on here? So I really like the tone for this. Even the ending with them just kind of taking a selfie as one big weird little family of the mom's just a clearly, normal Japanese lady, then the dragon, then the daughter who's a mix of both. It's a nice wholesome setting. And then in the very end, it kind of alludes to her becoming more and more dragon as time goes on. She's breathing, fire during class, makes her throat all sore. Really interesting premise. My only concern here, I don't know what they can do with this. What tone is this series going to be? Is this going to be an action series? Is she going to start fighting other people? Or is it going to be more of a slice of life kind of comedy thing? I don't really know, to be honest. I don't really get the vibe from this first chapter. Is it going to be a thing where we find out what's going on with dragons in this world? Is it going to be like a quest for her to figure out what's going on? Obviously, that's the one-shot. The full serialization could be completely different. The plot could be much more reformed into something else. But as it stands right now, I'm really struggling to see what he's going to do, or what they're going to do with this as a full series, because I don't know. This one-shot felt really, it almost felt like a Fujimoto one-shot, to be completely honest with you. Reading it, just the vibe and the tones, it felt very like well wrapped up in one shot, just like a nice little story. So I wonder what they're gonna do with this for a full serialization, if this is meant to be a long-running series. So there you guys have it. Those are the new series starting in Shonen Jump over the next 2 issues. If you want to see videos on them as they release, I will do that. Of course, let me know down in the comments below. I'm really excited to see Aliens Area, and then of course Ruri Dragon. Both of these are definitely on my radar now. Aliens Area especially, because I know nothing about that author. Ruri Dragon, I kind of have a little bit of an idea, but I am curious to see how that story plays out. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. Which of these 2 series are you more excited for in Weekly Shonen Jump? Of course, subscribe to Shonen Suit for more manga and anime coverage. This is a new channel, so all the support really does mean the world to me. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at BoTalksMedia. Join my Discord, which is mostly 3DS people, believe it or not, down in the description below. And until next time, guys, bye-bye.